They're waiting for the thumbs up for me, but they are good to go. No sweat here. They're ready to tear it up on another game of Modern. So yeah, we got Jordan and Robbie duking it out. Edit transform. I want the person I want to be the top right. There we go. We fixed Robbie's title. Looks like Jordan's taking a mulligan here. Looks like Jordan's taking the old mulligan Reno here. Let's get the Twitch chat popping out here. Look at that. It says we're live. Looks like we're live. That's good. Now I want to pop out the chat. Boop. Hooray. I can pop up my stream over here, and I put the chat over here, and I can even slide this over a little bit so I can get a nice big view. So it looks like Jordan's going to go down to 6, but he's happy with the rest of his hand. Robbie going with the old Surveil land to start out with, to start with here. Pretty strong addition to Reanimator. Seems pretty free. I mean, it's free for most decks, but if you get Graveyard Synergy, then it's even got some more incremental value there. That's pretty nice. Jordan's fetching down. Down to 19. We don't actually have a life counter here, but that's okay. I think we can do it manually somehow. I can do it manually. Here comes Goblin Guide. Gonna smack Robbie for 2 damage. Here I'll go. Hitter dash. Robbie's at, he's fetching. We're at a 17 for Robbie. Safe. Jordan's sitting at a crisp 19 life from just fetching. Ooh, Robbie going to that fetch shot, going to 15. 15, actually. 15. Look at the old Flourishing Archaeologist. Gonna put a couple of Goryos and a Flourishing into the graveyard and pick up a Goryos of himself. And that's a pretty good blocker, I guess, against the 2/2 Goblin Guide, to be fair. But sitting at 15 life, you at least get to some of the Goblin Guide a little bit. But Jordan only needs 5 more Lightning Bolts to win the game. 5 more Lightning Bolts to win the game. Here comes Sunbay Canyon. And here comes Lightning Helix. Jordan's going to go down to 18. He's going to gain 3 up to 21. He's going to shoot that Archaeologist out of the way and then smack Robbie for 2 damage. Robbie's going to reveal a Force Negation. Robbie likely going down to 13. Oh, just kidding. Robbie's going to stay at a crispy 15 life, giving Jordan another 2 life. Wow, look, Jordan's winning. He has so much life. Sitting at 23. He's first going to untap and draw that Force Negation in return. Going to play a little draw to discard 1 unless you have a bunch of different mana values in your graveyard, which looks like Robbie does have the appropriate amount of mana values. Oh no, he's going to discard Atraxa. Doesn't have quite enough yet. And here comes the land, and then pass it back to Jordan. Inspiring Vantage for Jordan. Ooh, pass. Robbie's gonna fetch. Down to 14. I imagine we'll get another Surveil land here. If he's Esper, you can probably go get the white-black one if he's running it. I don't know if he is, though. Yeah, hey, you know what? There's the shadowy backstreet in the back streets. Where you know, if you don't go, go. You shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, go play. So I'll keep line on top. Oh, and here comes Goryos' Vengeance to snipe Atraxa out of the graveyard. Yeah, does that resolve? Looks like it do. And with the old white mana left floating, if Robbie can find an Ephemerate. Oh, there's Ephemerate. So things are looking very, very bad for Jordan now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not a lot of good hits. He gets 3 cards out of these piles because he hit lands, instants, and sorceries, and nothing else. So he's going to pick, I can't remember what the name of the card is called. It's like Deadly Concoction or something. So yeah, land and oh. No Ephemerate. Oh, I guess they're all instants. No sorceries in there, actually. I thought that draw to discard one unless you have mana values in your graveyard was a sorcery, but no. Well, Robbie's just going to try to, I guess, hit Jordan for 7. This is where Jordan, if he has a Skull Crack, then the game... I mean, yeah, the game isn't over. It is Robbie's turn, so we can't force here. So Skull Crack is going to look really nice. You know, that is unless Robbie has a Ephemerate already, maybe. That's why he didn't pick one. I mean, that's kind of the tell there. All right, let's see Skull Crack. Oh, there's Lightning Helix. It's going to shoot Robbie in the face. Put him down to 11. Put Jordan up to 26. Put Robbie down another 3. Down to 8. Jordan's going to go up to 26, and then he's going to lose 7 down to 19. And Robbie's going to gain 7 up to 15. And then there's Ephemerate. Blink the Atraxa. Not only does Robbie get to keep Atraxa now for the rest of the game, he also gets to draw another bunch of cards off his deck. So I see a Solitude, Prismatic Ending, land. Yes, yeah, Swamp. Swamp's fine. And there it is. So as much as I would like to say that Jordan is still in this game, I think he's kind of cooked here. I think it's over. I mean, look at it. Look, I mean, how's he going to beat a 7/7 Vigilance Flying Lifelink? Yeah, and Jordan's going to scoop her up. Ooh, Swift Spear is a pretty good one to see in the opener. So there might be a Searing Blaze in there, a couple of mystery cards, some lands. And Jordan's not happy with that hand, though. I think there might have been a few too many lands for the old Burn Pilot. Pretty unfortunate game 1 here, or round 1 for Jordan. You know, to go up against the deck that their only game plan is to put a 7/7 Lifelinker into play. It also draws them like 3 to 4 cards. 3 to 4 like live cards. Sometimes it draws them 6 to 8 live cards actually. Looks like Robbie's keeping his 7, though. Jordan satisfied with his hand, figuring out what card to put back. There's a good old-fashioned Lava Spike there. And there's a fetch. Yeah, Jordan's gonna fetch. Going to 19. Oh, getting the tap land. No turn 1 play, but is going to surveil with the red-white land. Full art, too. Very cool. Very cool. And surveil time. Does Jordan want that card? It could be anything. Yeah, he's going to keep it there. All right. Card's good. Going to untap. Draw a card. Robbie just played Pluto Delta and passed the turn back over. Jordan with his Sunbait Canyon going to pass it back again to Robbie. Interesting. Not the kind of start that you'd expect from Burn, but I'm no Burn pilot, so I don't really know exactly what it means to pilot a Burn deck. I imagine Robbie's just going to 19 here. Don't see him shocking. Yeah. Gonna get the old something library, I believe is the white-blue one. Some sort of, no, meticulous archive. I mean, an archive could be a library. That kind of counts, right? That counts as a library. So both players taking it pretty slow, just playing lands, drawing cards. Surveil that card. Robbie likes that one. Pretty surprising from the graveyard deck to be keeping cards on top when he could be throwing them in the graveyard for free. Just gonna play Misty Pass. Wow, just untapped draw for Jordan. Just chilling. Jordan just looking for an opportunity to just like unleash hell upon Robbie's face. Another Sunbait Canyon. You're gonna pass it back again, so no creatures, I guess. Yeah, there's the old Undercity Sewers. We'll be surveilling again. I can't believe they just hard power crept the Temple cycle. Kind of unreal. Yeah, there goes a Atraxa in the graveyard. That's pretty good. So the question is, does Jordan have instant speed graveyard interaction? It looks like, yeah, Robbie's going for it. He's like, okay, here's my Goryos Vengeance. Okay, Robbie should be at 18, actually. Fetched twice. That resolves? Question mark? Confused? Alright, well, here's a bunch of cards. Here's Ephemerate. Here's land, or here's Grief. Here's land. Rest go on the bottom. Very shocking. And I was going to evoke Grief to check if the coast is clear. Jordan going down 1 life from the Sunbait Canyon down to 18. Gonna play Skullcrack. Crack Robbie for 3, down to 15. So that'll at least prevent Robbie from getting a life this turn. And then take another damage off the second Sunbait Canyon, down to 17. And here comes Path to Exile. Robbie's also going to fetch. This was a bit of a misplay, I think, by Jordan. I think because now Robbie's just going to shock in, yeah, so going to 12. Now Robbie, because I'm pretty sure Jordan saw Robbie pick up an Ephemerate. Yeah, so there's Ephemerate targeting Atraxa. Well, I mean, I guess he's going to force it anyway because of the Grief. He kind of had to do this. Otherwise, Grief would just take Path. I assume Jordan doesn't have 2 paths in hand. So I think what Jordan should have done is actually path the Atraxa before, or while the first trigger was on the stack, which I think was maybe the more correct play. It's path Atraxa, trigger on the stack. Hopefully Robbie doesn't just have Ephemerate in hand. Well, Jordan has Stomping Ground, Searing Blaze, Lava Spike. So either way, Robbie's taking 3 damage next turn, it looks like. And could not attack with Atraxa, so Skullcrack didn't actually do nothing. Robbie was a discard, discarding another Atraxa. So Robbie was pretty smart there to take the Searing Blade, or to take the Lattice Spike, I think, just because Searing Blade is just a 2-mana lightning bolt at this point, and you don't want Jordan to like spin into like a bunch of bolts in a row. I think he's got a Crack Sunday Canyon here. Yeah, Crack Sunday Canyon draw card. That makes sense. Oh. Jordan's looking for another Path to Exile. Even that, like, I don't know how he gets out of this one, so I'm pretty sure we also seen Robbie pick up a couple of Force Negations. Play Wooded Foothills. And then pass. So again, Robbie in big trouble. Robbie wants to ephemerate this Atraxa first. Will not cast the Ephemerate, actually. Just going to let it go away. As, Robbie decided he has enough cards in hand. He doesn't need another bunch of cards. But he's just going to not tap anything. He's going to attack for 7. Jordan goes to 10. Robbie goes to 19. And I think that's just it. Like, that's just game. Jordan fetches down to 9. Putting a Sacred Foundry into play tapped. Got one, gonna have 2 mystery cards in this turn. And you're gonna need a Miracle Jordan to get out of this one. I mean, Robbie just like, he sees the path to victory of just do nothing. Of just like swing with the Atraxa, pass. He really doesn't need to do anything right now. He can just chill behind Atraxa. Yeah. Shock and Song of Ground. All right, Jordan going out at 7, living life dangerously. 7, Jordan down to 7. Robbie shocking it. Going to 16. Casting Goryos Vengeance, I guess, on this other Atraxa, draw a bunch more cards. Can't have 2 legendary creatures in play at the same, or 2 of the same legendary creature in play at the same time. So can't swing for 14 at least. And yeah, was sitting on Deflecting Palm, but he had force. So yeah, the writing was on the wall there. Unfortunately, could not steal the win there. So Robbie, a quick 2-0 victory with the newest menace in Modern, Atraxa Reanimator.
Oh, you're back at it?
We're back at it again.
Do you want Combo Man's insight?
If you want, yeah. If you want to hang out at the casting booth,
okay.
As much of a booth as this is.
So now that you've casted Jason's first outing with Twiddlestorm and watching him not count his graveyard before he tries to do something. Yeah.
Now you get to pretend that you never make any mistakes ever and judge everyone on the even slightest misplay.
Okay, well that's great.
All right, why don't you just like introduce yourself a little bit for people who don't know who you are?
Oh, so my name is Jason. I've been playing Modern since 2014 probably. So I like to think of the good old days. Yeah. When Dark Confidant was a good creature.
Dark Confidant was good. Tarmogoyf, Snapcaster Mage, Cryptic Command.
Yeah, I played
Electrolyze.
I played a good amount of Cryptic Command. I lost a lot of games to Electrolyze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't have the same amount of time to sink into testing, so I enjoy playing combo decks and not trying to figure out what the mid-range strategies of the day are.
Yeah, right. That's the thing that I feel like people overlook a lot when they're playing, or because like people like to think that combo decks are pretty like brain dead and stuff, right? Because it's like, oh, you just do your thing and then I lose, whatever. But I mean, not everyone can just keep up with like the optimal play. When you're playing like a controller mid-range deck, you have to like know what your opponent is doing and like what's going on like in the room and like in Magic as a whole. Yeah. Be like, well, like should I be thought seizing turn 1? Like I don't know.
And if you think of a game of Magic as a decision tree,
yes.
If you go very, very narrow in what you're doing, you get to cut off 3/4 of the tree and only think about what's left over. Right?
Yes.
So,
Well, we have
what
Jesse
do we
on
got?
E-Tron, and Mike is on what he calls Oops, All Hydras.
Okay,
I
that's
believe
fun.
he already put a Hydra into the graveyard. I think that's the one that has, like, haste. It's like a red X.
My Hydra knowledge is not.
I think it's a red X, has flying and haste, and comes in with extra. I mean, there it is.
Okay.
So we can look it up. But yeah, Jesse's going down to 2. That does check out with the amount of mana that was tapped to create this Hydra. Because it looks like Mike has enchanted his Surveil land. Wow, extra value with his.
Is that a Utopia Sprawl?
It is a Utopia Sprawl,
Okay.
yeah.
That's some value there.
That is value there.
E-Tron is. Oh, we got Tron online, just natural Tron. Jesse's doing it.
That's kind of the strength that E-Tron has always had, where it just sometimes just stumbles into Tron by accident, and it's like, oh, sweet, here's Karn.
About 3/4 of the time it feels like, but it's not actually.
Yeah, so Mike played a Shivan Devastator.
Okay.
So a red and X, comes with X1 counters on, has flying and haste. So it's a 2/2 haste flyer right now for 3 mana. That's what he dumped into that. And Jesse's like, that's cool. Here's liquid metal coating.
That we're gonna say goodbye to this Utopia Sprawl hedge maze pretty soon.
Yeah, and so I guess the nice thing here is that he can't immediately build the land this turn. So he had to fetch with Karn to get the coating. But, oh, that's pretty good.
Kill your guy, fog your land next turn.
Yes, because he basically gets to fog 2 mana out of Mike for next turn, since the hitting the Sprawl land here and his upkeep is gonna do double duty. So, and the combination, yeah, there's the upkeep. Turn that land off. You have Castle Garenbrick, Mike. What do you got? And he's gonna scoop it up. That's it. It's over.
That seems like the correct line there.
It's just that easy. Yeah, I mean, Arbiter might have a comeback though. I'm not sure how close you've been following the MH3 spoiler cards, or if you want to know about them.
I've been trying to only look at the ones that are confirmed.
Okay.
What's the hotness?
All right. So this one is not confirmed. It was, of course, taken on a camera that was used to film Bigfoot.
Okay.
So, but it is double white for a 2/2 with flying and first strike.
Oh, it's a spirit, right?
It's a spirit, yes. When it enters, you get to destroy a non-basic land, and its owner should elaborate for a basic land and puts it in the battlefield tapped.
Yes. I remember reading that card and seeing that tapped basically just makes it a sinkhole if you have a Rattle Chains or an Aether Vial.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter if you're hitting a Triome or a Shockland or a Boseiju, they still lose that mana that turn.
Yes.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's very, very strong. I am super excited for that card. I don't know if it's enough to bring taxes back into the limelight, but I mean, one can hope.
I have a friend who plays Spirits, and he is really hoping that card brings Spirits back.
It could. I mean, it's a spirit, and it's got some relevant keywords on it. So, and yeah, if your opponent's like turn 1 fetch Triumph, and you're like, okay, turn 2 this. Like, oh.
So we have a Kiora with a Utopia Sprawled Forest.
Yeah, so similar opener for Mike, slower opener for Jesse, the old Expedition map. So probably not the old just hard Tron here. I think the card I'm looking forward to most out of Mike's deck is one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizons. I think it was 2. It's called Unbound Flourishing. Oh, here comes the dragon again. So he played Kiora, used Kiora to untap his Utopia Sprawl land, and they made a 1/1. Which, I mean, I guess is fine. It's a 1/1 flying haste.
He gets to throw a 5/5 at him next turn, then you'll get him dead.
Yeah, right. So I would be shocked if Mike wasn't playing Unbound Flourishing. It's a 3-mana enchantment, and it says that whenever you cast an X spell, if it's a permanent, you get to double the value of X, and there it is. Yeah, just gonna have to read this. We got a lot of text on it. So yeah, if it's a permanent spell, you double the X value, whatever it is. If it's a non-permanent spell, you get to copy the spell.
Oh.
So you just get insane value of all your X spells, just raw insanity. So yeah, gonna use Kiora to untap the land and get another 2 mana. I don't know what that is.
I think that's Goldvein Hydra.
Goldvein Hydra?
But I don't
The one that
know
makes
what
treasures?
The art looks vaguely familiar.
It is Goldvein Hydra.
Oh,
nicely done.
awesome.
So yeah, Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Yeah, when it dies, you get a number of taps equal to its power. So even though Mike only put 2 mana into it, Unbound Flourishing gives him an extra 1 on that X value, so it makes it a 2/2. Not too shabby. Jesse completing Tron on turn 3 here again, though. But I don't think Mike will fold quite as easily to a straight-up Karn Lickmo coating this round.
Yeah, Karn is not going to do it here. We're going to need a series of Reality Smashers. Maybe we'll see an All Is Dust.
All Is Dust would be good, yeah. Right, yeah, because I'm thinking, I don't think Eldrazi Tron plays like Oblivion Stone. I think the right choice is All Is Dust.
Yeah. If he's choosing to sideboard Oblivion Stones, he might have some.
Right.
I think you're right, and it's not
an option. Right, and like I feel like if Jesse's sideboarding stuff, it's not stuff for this matchup, right? Because his board's gonna be pretty clogged with Karn targets.
Yeah.
So if he has any cards he's actually bringing in via like the sideboard, honestly, it's probably gonna be like 4 ley lines or something, right?
Yeah.
Some sort of 4 of that really hoses one specific matchup that's just too fast for Karn.
Every Hydra that Mike has shown so far does have haste.
Yes.
And with Unbound Flourishing, if he does not hit another land, if it's 1 in X, he will have an 8/8 haste.
That's a lot of damage. Jesse's already at 16, so with an additional 8, he'll go down to 5. So he played the Monument. This one does a bunch of stuff. It does a Monument. It gains him some life when he casts a colorless spell, which is why he went back up to 18. Forsaken Monument, sorry. Yeah, so color creatures get +2/+2. Whenever you have a permanent for colorless, you get an additional colorless. So all those Tron lands get +1 mana now, which is pretty fun. And now, when he casts a colorless spell, you get +2/+2. So that Matter Shaper is a 5/4, which is pretty good.
So with that Monument in play, the Alpine Moon knocks Jesse down to 5 mana for next turn if he doesn't have it on the land.
Yes.
Which isn't too bad. That does cast most of the cards in his deck.
It's still, Alpine Moon not really pulling a lot of weight that it's used to. 'Cause, I mean, Alpine Moon obviously names Tower, which kind of just turns the other 2 Urza lands into their like regular counterpart. Like they still tap for 2 mana.
Yeah.
So here comes the Voracious Hydra. This one's got a couple modes on it. Either Mike can choose to double the number of 1/1 counters on it, or it can make him fight. Or is it fight or deal damage? Voracious Hydra.
It looks like he's chosen to double.
It looks like it's double, yes. Yes, it's fight. So he could have fought, but it would have just traded with the Matter Shaper. But what's also nice here is that Mike gets to draw a card.
Yeah.
Because this creature has power 4 or greater, and it doubles up to 8. So thanks, Kiora. Drawing cards!
Does it still have power 4 or greater on the stack? Or is Kiora cast or enter?
Kiora is enter.
Okay.
And it enters, yes. It is an ETB effect. So just reading Alpine Moon.
I would also be reading all of these cards again if I were Jesse.
Just in case?
Yeah, just trying to make sure that your outs are actually your outs.
We've certainly Googled more cards than I have so far today. The first one, I didn't have to Google a single card. I knew what they all did.
Okay.
This one, I was like, okay. Both Mike and Jesse are playing some cards that I am not super familiar with. I've got a X-Spell Commander deck, and even I haven't seen some of these cards. So
I occasionally get asked about X-Spells, but I don't remember what any of them are because usually they're not Amulet Titan playable.
Yes. They're usually not that great. All right. Well, here's the One Ring. That's pretty sad, especially for a deck aiming to get in with creatures.
I can confirm the One Ring is a good card.
Yeah. Yeah, the One Ring is pretty good, hey? On a scale of pretty good to pretty good, how pretty good is the One Ring?
It's pretty insane. I am shocked that it's still legal.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
If it wasn't legal, I would have so many deck building choices, and I would have all of that interesting thing going on.
Yeah, I've certainly, a lot of my recent brews the past couple of weeks, I'm not ashamed to say that they are carried by the One Ring.
Yeah.
That the rest of the deck is kind of medium, and the One Ring just helps stick all of your duct tape and glue together into one mass that actually kind of works. So here comes the
Hydra Craces.
Yeah, Hydra Craces. Yeah, so good. Titan does. I've seen Titan play Hydra Craces a couple times.
I do not think that plan works now, seeing as I haven't won a game with that plan in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this, or about these triggers, is that Unbound Flourishing is a replacement effect. So when Mike casts the spell, the X value is already doubled by the time that it triggers the draw cards gain life.
So his X is 3, draws him 3, gains him 3, and gets him a 6X.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, his X is becomes 6. Or it goes 3 to 6, then it gets half for the drawing and the life gain. Then he gets a 6/6 flying trampler. Takes out. Was there a Karn in play? I don't remember.
There was not.
There was just attacks to assert dominance with the flyer. Yeah, nice, Mike. Yeah, flex on the haters. But just gonna draw a couple cards. I do like the Forsaken Monument kind of offsetting the Ring's life loss here.
Yeah, it offsets the Alpine Moon and the Ring's life loss. It's really
pulling a lot of weight right now. So all of a sudden Jesse's back up to 7 mana.
Yeah. Where do you think the old advantage bar is here, Derek?
I think the advantage bar is, I want to say it's closer to Jesse's side.
Yeah.
But specifically right now, he's in a pretty vulnerable spot. Mm-hmm. He needs some action because he is staring at 8 plus 6 is 14, 15, 16, 17 power, which he is at 17. So here comes second ring to fog Mike once again.
Jesse should be gaining 2, I think.
Yeah.
If he remembers.
I don't think he is remembering from the Monument's life gain. He remembered off the Matter Shaper once, and then that's it. Oh, and remember that. Oh, I remember the Matter Shaper. Is it creature spell, not colorless spell? No, colorless spell. He just missed on the ring.
Okay, that's fine.
Remembered for the Matter Shaper though.
Yeah, 2 life is not going to make a difference here.
No. So now we get to see if Mike, I don't know, sided in Stomp or something to get around the One Ring. All right, there's Haywire Might, not bad. Yeah, just tap the old Force for double green to play the Might and then eat the ring and gain 2 life.
That's what he's got to do. He needs to establish a board that wins next turn.
Here comes another Hydra. I think this is Uvenwald?
Is that the double every turn one, or is this the deals damage when it attacks?
Is it that one? No, it's not this one.
No.
Search for a land card? Yeah, it's not that one. I'm just going to search Hydra and see if I can find a picture that matches. I don't think it's Briar Hydra or Bristling Hydra. No.
A bunch of these have alternate arts too. So
oh man. Well, there's another Hydra for Mike. We don't know what it does, but it's a 8/8. It's certainly big. Looks like it's from one of the core sets, based on like the kind of rectangular set symbol, but. Oh, and here comes Big Ugin, which is hilariously good here because while these Hydras are good in power and toughness, they are small in mana value. So I believe an Ugin -3, just one-sided board wipes. Yeah, 8 -3 is 5. You can scoop all those up. Dice goes everywhere.
Choosing to -2 and then...
Oh, just the -2, but those sprawls can go in the trash as well.
You can just attack down the Cure and save the loyalty.
Yeah, I guess so.
This way Ugin can uptick and then -7.
Yeah. Only has to really attack with 1, and then Jesse's only afraid of a haste trampler. Nah, Jesse's going to get him. He's going to deal 5 and 5. Well, that was pretty backbreaking for Mike. I am very sorry to see that, that's for sure. 3, 4, 5. Oh, Krasis is a good reload here, so draw 3, gain 3. Again, making the 6/6, but I mean, if Jesse wants, he can just minus Ugin 2 more. Yeah, turns out we found the. I mean, I guess most decks are pretty weak to Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So it's not like this is a like unique scenario, but I mean Mike's deck is like specifically weak to the Ugin down tick.
Yeah.
Just -3 there. Jesse's like, oh, I should have got rid of that enchantment the first time, I guess.
It never feels good to play your off-meta deck and then just get immediately hosed by...
Just Tron things.
Just a regular old card.
All right, there's Thought-Knot Seer. It's a promo one, or a Secret Lair one. Because, yeah, Jesse's land's back online, so he actually has 2 floating mana here. Technically. But I guess there's no better way to tap those, so... Actually, we could have tapped a single tower, I guess.
Yeah, tower taps for 4. That's wild, man.
That's a lot of mana.
These things are basically cloud posts at this point.
Yeah.
And
now he's gonna... Mike's channeling something.
He's gonna Force the Vigor the Monument.
Force the Vigor the Monument, yeah. And then gets to look at another Unbound Flourishing and a Shivan Devastator, which is the Flying Haste red Hydra. So I think Jesse just takes the Devastator and leaves Mike with a sad enchantment in his hand.
I think that's the line, unless you decide that you're never going to lose to this Devastator. But
yeah,
Ugin never dies if you take it.
Yeah, because now Mike has to like rip one off the top.
Oh, that's not a Thought Seer.
Yeah, that's just exiled forever. You don't got to tuck underneath the Thought-Knot Seer. That thing is gone. All right, the top deck of the century. Well, yeah, Jesse already floated a bunch of mana
yeah, we have enough for
with
Karn
the
and Coding or Karn and Bridge or whatever he wants.
a lot, yeah, because he was floating 2, and he tapped a bunch of mana in response to the mono getting blown up, so he was sitting on another 10, 16 mana, I believe. Yeah. So -4 puts him at 12, and I mean, I'm sure there's something that Karn can get for 12 or less mana that ends the game there.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm sure just Sundering Titan just like blow up 3 of your lands.
Sundering Titan would hit at least 2 lands there.
Yeah.
You could go Cityscape Leveler.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kill 1. I'd be interested to see how big his board goes. Some Karn boards stay really lean.
Yeah.
But even if he just goes Karn, get One Ring, play One Ring, and then attack for 10.
I mean, yeah, like Mike was on a pretty quick clock there. Like he had 16 power in play with the addition of the Thought-Knot Seer for the following turn, I guess. So
with the monument being gone, I guess.
Oh yeah, monument makes him smaller. So,
but like it's
still 10 power.
Yeah, he's still going to his next turn, facing down lethal. Also an Ugin on board, also a card. And
yeah, it's just there was no way to come back for that one, I think. So good try there, Mike. Unfortunately, the old Eldrazi Tron was too mighty.
Good call on the advantage meter, by the way. Sometimes it's hard to do.
Right? I was like, I'm pretty sure Jesse's got this. But, because, like, I mean, yeah, there was the one turn where he's like, all right, ring, just, like, pass again.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, so clearly Jesse didn't have anything on that turn that really, like, stabilized the board for him.
Stapling Time Walk onto Ancestral Vision and making it cost 4 colorless mana is really, really good.
Yeah. Bant Hammer, 3-color hammer. 3 colors in this hammer deck. I've been told the hammer's dead.
I think that hammer is objectively powerful enough that if you have the mulliganing decisions dialed in, then hammer won't be dead.
Yes.
Any of these like really, really fast decks really pressure your ability to make mulligan choices. And some decks are pretty black and white, like Infect.
Yes.
For instance, do you have an Infect creature? Do you not?
Yes.
Boggles. Do you have Boggles? Do you not? And then you can kind of look at how the rest of the hand feels.
Yeah.
But meeting the requirement is so important. Or in Pioneer Lotus Field, can I make Lotus Field or not? There's a base requirement.
Yes.
Hammer doesn't really have the same requirement because you have 3 or 4 different plans.
Yes, yeah. Hammer is a deck that has a pretty effective plans like ABC.
Yeah, and all of them are good, and all of them can win games. It's not like the beatdown plan out of like Malirapon back in the day. The beatdown plan did not work.
No. Hitting with your 1/4 draft chaff cards is not really an effective strategy.
Yeah, you needed Siege Rounder to be printed for that to work.
Yes.
But all of the plans out of Hammer work well.
Yes.
How many cards do you think we're gonna Google out of Ben's deck? Is it gonna be a ratio thing?
I mean, I'm hoping that our previous Googling will do us some favors here, that maybe we'll see some repeat cards.
Okay.
Because, I mean, like, there are, out of all the X cards in Magic, I would say a good percentage of them fall into the Hydra creature type.
Yeah.
So, I feel like cards like Hydra Crisis is maybe a little bit hard to pass up when you're getting a free X doubler and your deck is built around that, where you're like, oh, so now the gain 3... or gain X, draw X is just X. It's not half X, it's just X now.
I'm really excited for this because my experience playing against Ben every now and then is that he is a brewer and deck builder aficionado. He nearly always has the coolest deck for Wednesday Night Modern, and it very often has a fair plan and a combo finish in it.
Yes. It's got some sort of weird fair thing, and then some sort of like, oops, you lose.
Yeah,
Ben is staring at a One Ring at the end there for sure.
That is the only card in his hand I recognize.
It's the good old One Ring. Oh, hey. How's it going? Yeah, no, I enjoy playing against Ben also because I feel like I always learn something new about the rules of the game, because he's usually exploiting some fringe rule interaction that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Where I learned from him that I guess they changed his rules, so unfortunately his pet deck at that time doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
But you used to be forced to cast suspend spells. When a spell came off suspend, you had to cast it. There was no like, nah, I don't want to. So he was playing like a deck with the MH2 card Suspend, which exiles the thing, puts into Suspend. He was playing Delay, and then playing the 2-mana Red Enchantment that blows you up for 5 damage if you cast a spell for free. And I was like, oh, I see that. I don't want to cast this. It's like, no, you have to. I was like, oh, I guess I'm taking 5 then. Thanks, Ben.
Sweet. Delay, by the way, a card that is great in foreign languages.
Yeah.
If you get it in French, that's the way to go.
I mean, you'll probably get a judge call eventually on that one, and you might get you probably get a stern talking to.
Will you?
I think so. Yeah. It's not the nicest things. I mean, you're playing it because of the joke, right?
Yeah. There are cards that can be more fun in alternate language. Wild Nacatl being my favorite.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It is Wilder Nacatl.
Wilder Nacatl. Oh, yes. In German, new card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, a card called Final Showdown. Finaler Showdown, which is just makes it better, right? And I know that the Spanish English of Kozilek is like $40 because of the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
No one expects it. But so Brendan's got a pretty good start here. The old Esper Sentinel Ornithopter. So this is a pretty strong start, especially given if Brendan's sitting on like maybe a Sigarda's Aid and a Hammer. Because now he has the old 2-creature setup, so if one gets killed, he still has something able to swing in if Ben only has Social Speed removal. Ben did Tron turn 1, and then second Tron turn 2, it looks like. Oh, let me just get them to use a life tracker. I'm going to download a life tracker on my backup phone, and they can use that instead. So
a flooded strand?
It is a flooded strand. Yeah, that's the old new expedition one from the most recent Zendikar set. It's not Return to Zendikar.
Oh, it's tapping for mana.
Oh no, it's Seachrome Coast then. Sorry.
Okay.
That's Seachrome Coast.
Stoneforge for Hammer. Looks like Ben might just get lined up here. Oh, It is Hydras.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the Unbound Flourishing, so we haven't seen any creature yet. This is going to double all of Ben's X spells now. So yeah, if he casts a permanent spell, X gets doubled. If he casts a non-permanent spell, it gets copied.
Okay.
So it's an extra iteration of that one.
Derek is delivering the life tracker. Well, we get to see your phone background.
Is my phone dying? Oh, is there an ad?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There we go. 18-20. The blue's a little hard to see, but you know what? Close enough. All right, well, there's Sigarda's Aid. Yep. Now that the walls are down, Ben is tapped out. So this is Brendan's chance if he has the old hammer in hand. Yeah, swing for. Well, I guess he just plays forward Mystic, so he must have hammer. Yeah. Yoink.
He did Stoneforge for hammer.
Yeah.
I feel like Ben is really getting away with this one.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you will just immediately lose if you tap out against hammer after they've just searched a hammer.
Yeah, like if your opponent just goes creature, Stoneforge Mystic, like, and then search up anything that's not Cauldra, you should probably assume they have a way to equip their Equip 8 artifact. It's very rarely a bluff. I played hammer for a good stint, so I feel like I have at least some sort of expertise on the optimal line here. I could nitpick Ben a little bit, where you might actually want to play hammer on the Esper Sentinel, so that because Ornithopter already loses flying, so it's not like there's any value there. But at least if it was on Esper Sentinel, then Ben's next card or next non-creature that he casts, Brendan does get a guaranteed draw, because I don't think he has 11 mana to pay for the Sentinel tax.
Yeah.
But it could be one of those things where, you know, it might just not matter. But we see that Ben's looking at his March, which actually is going to get some gnarly value here, since he gets to exile 2 things thanks to his Flourishing, since it copies it. The old non-permanent spell. Oh, change his mind. No, redo. I looks like he's playing in one of the Outlaws of Thunder Junction cards. I don't remember, I don't recognize the art right away, but I do recognize the frame. Yeah, here's March for X equals 1. So exile a creature, artifact, or enchantment with mana value equal to or less than that value, but he's going to copy it.
Sigarda's Aid and Ornithopter to strand the hammer.
So that's a pretty wise.
Yeah.
And now it's, do you want to pay 1 for Esper Sentinel? Ben would like to pay 1. And then, delete those 2 cards.
I think you're right, because the deck full of X spells should have the mana flexibility to pay for Esper Sentinel whenever it wants.
Yes. So, yeah, Brendan could have had an extra card here if he had put it on the Sentinel, but he would have lost his Sentinel, I guess, been sitting with an Ornithopter and a Stoneforge Mystic, which, I mean... And then from Ben's point of view, I might have actually been more inclined to exile Hammer's Sigarda's Aid, leaving with just Sentinel, Ornithopter, Stoneforge Mystic. Because I mean, with how this is set up, if Brendan has land, 1 mana artifact or less, if you're still Paladin, then you're dead.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're playing against Hammer, it's all about figuring out how you die. And eliminating as many of those possibilities as you can.
Yeah, it's very much a eliminate as many branches on the tree as you can matchups.
Yes.
Here's the Paladin, but no Metalcraft.
So, I mean, I was half right. So, yeah 1.
Oh, don't equip that. Okay.
Yeah, just moving it over. Getting in for 2 damage, which, I mean, still a 3-turn clock. Lethal in play.
Yeah.
And 1 artifact away from a very scary creature. So we haven't seen any Hydras yet. Ben's played X spell value card into double removal spell, which is certainly a lot of value.
He's got a red card at the front.
Yeah. What is this? some other blow up your stuff.
I wonder if it's like, well, it's game 1, so I don't think it would be like a Bifrost or something.
I would be hesitant to see Ben play like some sort of like just destroy artifact, do nothing else spell. Seems pretty narrow.
Or could it be like an earthquake effect?
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Definitely dangerous. I know a lot of those versions of those cards deal damage to all creatures and players.
Yeah.
And Ben doesn't have too much life left to be mucking around with it.
If there is one that doesn't hit players, though, Ben would know what it is.
True. If anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be Ben.
Okay, we're gonna see it here.
All right, I don't know what that card is at all. Red X something.
Whatever it is, something's dying.
We'll use our impressive Googling powers to try and figure it out. It's gonna be...
Looks like he made a clue as well.
Made a clue?
Yeah.
Red X make a clue, huh?
Oh, Brendan found his third land. It's an Urza Saga. That's probably the best land here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good rebuild piece here.
Unless he's on all green cards in hand.
Alright, I'm gonna take a I'm gonna take an educated guess here, in that Ben will be playing newer cards rather than older cards.
Looking for, there it is.
Hell to Pay? Is it a church token or a clue?
It is Torch the Witness. It looks
Torch the Witness. Yes. That art does check out. So, deals twice X damage to target creature. If excess damage is dealt this way, investigate.
Okay.
So yeah, he did it for X equals 2, it looks like. Because he only got 1 clue off of killing the Esper Sentinel, and then 2 damage to the Pierceful Paladin.
Yeah. So he did pay for the Esper Sentinel too, then.
Yes, it looks like it, yeah. Gotta keep those cards from flowing, and here comes Steel Shaper's Gift for another hammer. Does Brendan have Sigarda's Aid? Oh, I think I did see a Sigarda's Aid there, so it looks like this is GG, unless Ben has a free spell.
Yeah, they should line him right
Urza Saga does, in fact, tap for a colorless. And that's enough damage to finish Ben off. So,
I think the only time I ever won on MTG stocks was with Stony Silence.
Oh, nice.
Because Stony Silence in the olden days.
Yes.
I've already dated myself by saying when I started playing Modern.
Yeah.
So I feel okay talking about how Stony Silence used to be, like, decks used to splash for Stony Silence.
Yes.
Because Affinity used to be
So
the deck
good.
that, like, you either prepared for it or you decided you were going to lose to it.
Right.
And
Because that was Artifact Lands legal, right?
Yeah. No, not.
That was still, those are still banned by then.
Yeah, there wasn't Artifact Lands, but there was Mox Opal, there was Arcbound Ravager, and you didn't have very cost-effective tools.
Yes.
Like, there was no Fatal Push in the format. Your creature interaction was Path to Exile, or it was Lightning Bolt. And Arcbound Ravager is really good at beating Lightning Bolt.
Charger fan with some of you played Extended.
I did not play Extended. I started playing Magic just after Extended went away.
Okay.
Modern became a thing, and then my buddy taught me how to play Magic in like 2013, and then I got too competitive at Commander. But we got some things going on.
We do. Ben has played a card that I actually do recognize.
Okay.
It is Magus of the Candelabra.
Oh, wow.
So it is a creature that has the Candelabra text on it, as are all the Magus cards. And this is fun because there is actually a line of text that I forgot to mention on Unbound Flourishing, because it hardly ever comes up.
Does it copy creatures' abilities too?
Yeah, so the part where you cast a non-permanent spell, you get to copy it. It also copies activated abilities with X in their cast or in their activation cost.
Okay.
So Unbound Flourishing does let you get double Magus of the Candelabra to untap your lands twice. So it, I guess, effectively doubles your mana.
Yeah.
With Flourishing coming out. Wizard's Rocket's also a fun tech that I didn't expect, which is something Ben just played. It's basically a chromatic star with a little extra spice on it, where you pay X and you get that much mana. You get to filter X mana in, and then get X mana of any color out.
Okay, are you going to tell me that mana abilities with X also work?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Brendan might be dead.
He's cooking. So if so Ben needs like 2 more turns here. 1 turn to actually play the Unbound Flourishing. And then next turn, he's going to make a very strange amount of mana. I don't know what the math is here. It's going to get real weird, though.
Are you good with your powers of 2?
No. Well, Brendan's not going to give him much time to figure it out, though, because here comes Ornithopter after blocks Flash and Hammer.
Ben might already be dead.
So Ben's at 8.
He's at 8. Okay.
He's at 8.
He dodged the second hammer.
Didn't die to second hammer, yeah. Just chilling at 8.
Saga is on 1, so he's got at least a turn because he can block if he needs to.
Yeah, because thankfully, Ornithopter no longer flying. Wait, is that Ornithopter? No, there's too much text on that card to be Ornithopter.
Oh, is it Gingerbread?
I think it's Gingerbread, actually.
Oh,
that makes things way worse.
Yeah, that's way worse for me.
That's way worse. All right, so he's going to do the mana filtering, draw a card, because it's basically Chromatic Star Premium. Chromatic Star Plus.
I think he has a March.
Yeah, looks like he has March in hand. So, March, get rid of Gingerbread. Pretty good here, but since Brendan's on Bant, he's not splashing blue and green for nothing. And he did very conspicuously leave up the good old Seachrome Coast.
Yes, this could be a Spell Pierce. Hammer also frequently plays the 1 mana. It's not rebuff, but it's like pro everything.
Right. It's not protection, but yeah, it gives your things hexproof and indestructible. And there it is, the Surge of Salvation.
There we go.
And then in response, March with the floating mana. Yeah, so Ben correctly had the read that Brendan probably had something. So a pretty interesting play there is that, yeah, he sacked Wizard's Rockets, drew a card, floated 2 mana. Then he could not have forced there. Because it's his own turn, right?
Oh, you're right.
Oh, well, here's another hammer, though.
Okay.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
It all worked out in the end.
Brendan saying still got all these?
Still had it. There was. I just want you to know that you had no chance of winning. You just look. You were dead 10 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is our last round of Modern for tonight, and we got Jerome and Jordan duking it out, fighting for prizes, fighting for glory. Jordan sure looking at a handful of lands. It's probably far too many lands, and Jerome sure is on Goblins. So we're just gonna talk. We're gonna change his name to Goblins. Goblins. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup. Actually, this is some very old school feel magic here. Some classic Boros Burn. I guess it's only a 3-color bird. We've seen Jordan play Stomping Grounds, who's splashing green and white for certain cards. Probably green for sideboard cards, white for like Boros Charm, and we saw Pat the Exile earlier tonight. And Jerome is on classic Goblins. Jordan going on to 6 cards, separated with his 6. Gonna shock in the Sacred Foundry. And here comes Goblin Guide for 2 damage. There is a Swamp for Jerome. Goblin Guide helping Jerome draw some cards. And there's the old turn 1 Eldrazi using the swamp that Jordan knows about, so keeping that hand information hidden, but Jerome going to probably take another hit for this Goblin Guide again. Oh, here comes a second Goblin Guide coming in for 4 damage. Put him down to... Oh, and now the jig is up. Jordan knows he's against Goblins, but at 14 life, Jerome's going to have to finish this game pretty quickly. Does not forget to take up the Eldrazi. Yeah, and here comes Auntie's Hovel. reveal this conspicuous Snoop, which Jerome cannot play with the lands he has. The current lands that he has. Jordan's still sitting on one land. Oh, here comes second land. All right. Sunbay Canyon helps pump out the damage. Goblin coming in for 2 again, and for 4 this time. Draw another card. Don't draw that one. Well, draw one's still pretty good. Drum goes to 10. Oh, no, here comes Goblin. The one that shoots, this is the number of goblins you control. So he's going to shoot a goblin guy, then he's going to block it. So, I mean, really, it's just the goblin's mirror, right? It's just some goblin-on-goblin action here. At the end of the day, isn't every deck just goblins? Alright, Jordan's going to just pass it back over. I guess he's going to sit on some, going to do some end-step burn. We see double Boros Charm. Oof, that's a lot of damage. Put Jerome down to 4 over the next couple turns, but here comes Conspicuous. Here comes the Goblin Harbinger. I don't know what that was. Goblin Harbinger finds the old Kiki Jiki. And, puts that on top. And here comes Boros Charm to Dome Jerome for 4. So now Jerome has a very small window to win here, and we have to see if Jordan keeps up removal for it. Because I guess Jerome's going to go end step, Conspicuous Snoop to then untap Upkeep. Key G combo. Oh, there's Spike for 3 damage. From down to 5. Ooh, now it does Jordan have the bolt? Hey, Peter. Good. How are you? You wanna join in on this action here? Jerome's playing Goblins. Jordan's on Burn.
Goblins and Burn.
Goblins versus Burn. So Jerome did put in the Snoop, and Jordan didn't have the removal spell there. But so now in Jerome's upkeep, you can go for the Kiki combo.
Mm-hmm.
Here
seems like he's trying to proceed with it.
He's gonna try to do it. Lots of interaction points here for Jordan to mess this up. But if it's not a lightning bolt, then this could just be game over. Yeah, it looks like it's happening, because that certainly looks like 24 Kiki Jikis. I guess he can wait till he goes to copy the Harbinger, and then just shoot the Harbinger. All right, I gotta split up these copies around.
Yes, yeah.
There's gonna be one untapped. All right, demonstrating the loop a little bit. Like,
yeah.
do. Those copy themselves, they make a new one. I have one untapped. I use that to tap and copy the Harbinger.
Yeah, and then he'll go up to find, I believe it's...
Sling Gang Lieutenant.
Yeah.
That makes 2-on-1s and also...
sacrifice ability, yeah.
Lets him shoot all of his goblins at Jordan's face. I think it also gains life.
Yeah, I believe
it drains for one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that part's irrelevant. Like... I think I saw a bolt in Jordan's hand. He just didn't know exactly where he was supposed to.
Well, take the siphon over the damage, especially against Burn.
Do the bolt? Jordan does have a bolt. He's staring at the bolt.
Oh,
they scooped it up.
Oh, all right, so we're starting off with a Monastery Sphere.
Yeah, pretty good start. Pretty good start. A little 1 damage there.
On a mulligan, I would like to see a Goblin Guide, but let's see what the rest of the hand comes up with.
Yeah. Last game, he had a pretty good start with double Goblin Guide. So not quite strong here, but might depend a little bit on if, I don't know, I can pop out a couple burn spells this next turn, like, because if he has like double 3 damage burn spell, then he can get in for 9 and put Jerome down to 7.
Mm-hmm. So there's no Surveil line on the Goblins list.
No, I guess not. I wonder if And I guess
think
Jerome
every
is
deck
on
needs to run
green.
one. I can't believe I misvalued those cards so bad. Oh, here we are. So
There it is.
green with
Yeah,
the Noble.
Noble Hierarchy. Yeah,
So that does leave some different sideboard options, and there's most likely not Chalice in the 3-color deck in my experience. Yeah.
All right, looks like Jordan drew another Swift Spear,
Well,
so...
he should be playing poker instead of Magic tonight, isn't he? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I'd like to see
land?
second
Okay.
Swift Spear into removal spell on the Goblin.
Oh, please.
Yeah, do
it. There's
Lava
so much
Dart.
value.
No, just swing?
Oh,
Jerome's
very
like, yeah, I'll
patient.
take 2.
Very patient after learning his lesson
He's a little,
from game
he's a
one,
little afraid, I think. Yeah, a little spooked.
So we're allowing Jerome to untap with 3 potential mana.
Yeah.
You can have Matron, you can have any of those types of lords. You can have combo piece followed with another Noble Hierarch, another Vial. So it's not that punishing to have 3 mana. It's more 4 mana.
Yeah. 3 mana isn't really a huge breakpoint for Goblins. Yeah, because I think their main their main 3 mana cards are all tutors and stuff.
Oh, okay. So he isn't allowing him to do that. And
So
he
he
is following
is.
up with that lightning bolt. Oh, sorry. No, this is post-combat skewer the critics.
Is that what that is?
I believe so because that's the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not familiar with all the cards that got reprinted in the fucking crime art. So, I mean, look, there's so many variations of cards I can't keep track of what's going on.
Like, I remember Hindering Light becoming a crime, and I'm like, oh, wait, that is an interesting one. That was Shards of Lara. I played that standard way too much. But,
yeah. A nice little blast of the past, eh?
Yeah. Okay, so now we're following up.
So yeah, a little sad that he had to hit with the Swift Spears first to enable the spectacle on the skewer, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Probably the most offensive play is like Mog War Marshal coming up here, but it looks like Jerome did signal a pass.
Yeah, looks like in the far side of his hand, he has the Goblin. I forget what it's called, the Blast Smash, that comes in, deals damage to the number of Goblins you control. That's Flash.
Yes. Yeah.
He's able to clean up Goblin Guide in game 1 that way by just pinging and then blocking.
Right,
So
but without any board state, it's not going to be too impressive against these Swift Spears.
No, it's pretty sketchy to try to do that same play where you just like fetch, ping 1, block to try and trade.
Right.
Because if Jordan has any non-creature spell, like, you're just so sad.
Well, the thing is about Burn is like they actually don't have that many creature targeted removals, at least game 1. It's just Searing Blazes and whatever copies.
Yeah,
4,
Searing Blaze,
and then
Lightning
the 4
Bolts.
Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Jerome for trying to do this if his plan is to stabilize and gain some of that type of card advantage. So here comes the Goblin, trying to do the exact same trick that we were mentioning earlier. And then let's see if Jordan decides to use the Lightning Bolt in this situation.
Because he might be a little bit scared to do that. Oh, this Skull Crack.
To the face.
That is also fine.
Yeah. So 2 damage from 1 unblocked Swift,
3
with
and then
the
1,
Skull
2,
Crack, yeah.
down to 8. All right, and I think this is a pretty safe play for Jordan as well. Well, there's the Surveillance. There it is.
I feel
There it
this
is.
so
Free. It's
reasons,
so
yeah.
free.
Yeah.
It's a wait.
Hey man, if the burn player scries to the top, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, huh? Right.
Looks like a game 3 coming.
Yeah. yeah. Right, and it just shows how big of a difference Vial makes here. Because I mean, here's a very similar board state to game 1, but like Jordan's in no pressure at all to be holding up bolts or interaction because, like, where's the risk here, right?
Yeah. Just like Merfolk, in a similar vein, Goblins does need some level of critical mass.
Yeah.
But it does have an infinite combo potential, so there's a little bit of a risk reward when it comes to
Burn drawing a few too many cards, it looks like. Coming for 2 damage. So if we see 1 mana, 3 damage, here comes in. Jordan's going to try to run it back.
Right.
Does Jordan have it again? Searing Blaze. He did make his land drop.
Yeah.
So 3, and that's a
3 and 5,
kill.
He's down to 3. Oh, did he do it before blocks? Yeah, then that's it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then down to 1. Sorry, yeah, 3 and 2 for each is 7.
Only one prowess trigger between both of them.
Yeah, down to 1. And I think that's going to be GG because I don't think Jerome can pull off the combo with 4 mana, even with that Cavern of Souls.
Maybe 4 mana.
At. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. Yeah, I'm. The Surveillance are good, and I recognize their power, but I don't think I can forgive Wizards for just doing the Temple cycle so dirty. Like sure, Scry 1. People weren't really playing Temple anyway.
Okay.
But did it have to be fetchable too?
I have to say this very specifically. I really enjoyed them when they first were standard legal in the original Theros block, but I really didn't like them when they returned.
Yeah.
It already felt overcrept at that stage.
Yes. It's a land that I'm staring at, and I'm like, they should have downshifted this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will re-release it again in like M20.
Oh yeah, they were relevant after their first reprint.
core like
they
20
were relevant
whatever.
after their first reprint. I do feel.
Yeah, no, they're a land that when I saw them reprinted in like 2021 or 2020, wherever it was, I was shocked they didn't like downshift them to common to give like pauper players a new fun dual land to play around with, right? Because it's just like what, like no one's playing a land.
I think if we put anything at common, they're gonna come out with the pitchforks. Like we gave them Swift Spear and all that glitters, and
the last time we gave them some new common toys, it upended the whole format.
It's like
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so funny because it's like. Surveil is so much better than Scry in like every way, and then they're like, you know what? Let's also make them fetchable.
Yeah.
Like it's not good enough that the mechanic is power crept. We gotta like make modern players buy him too.
I did not think they would be as playable as they are.
Right.
Like I 100% undervalued them.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm glad I'm wrong because they're fun.
Yeah.
And they make fair decks more accessible when it comes to dire situations, right?
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, I'm playing against Tron. Well, I can at least surveil away this fatal push.
Yes.
You know, like it feels like there's at least some false control,
yes.
right? Like,
yes.
But,
and it makes your like those games where you don't have a one drop just feel so much better.
Absolutely.
Where you're just like, well, I don't have anything. At least I get to surveil.
Right.
You know, fix my next draw, set my 2, 3, 4, whatever curve,
Right.
like pans out. But,
well, it looks like we have a surveil land and a goblin guide.
There it is. Everyone's
both
surveilling.
decent starts, and I'm wondering if Jordan, since he's on the draw, what his best...
Ooh, that was a fun trick, actually.
Yeah.
So in response to the Goblin Guide trigger, Jerome went digging for a land.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, there's a land. I'll draw this.
Yeah.
So Goblin Guide upgrading Surveil land to just draw land.
Yeah.
And draw field tap draw card seems pretty good.
Value is value.
Value is value right there.
That's
I think that's old border Mog War Marshal.
Oh, right, from Dominaria Master.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Okay,
There it is. Makes
so we're
the 1/1.
establishing board state. So Searing Blaze, although a beating, it may not remove his entire board state, which would allow the ETB deal damage based on goblins. And I don't know if we can see that in Jerome's hand. But he's at least establishing defense. Here we have 2 Sunbaked Canyons.
Taking 2 damage, that
Give
hurts.
me a core Firewalker. No, just a Goblin
Another
Guide.
Goblin Guide and a Swift Spear.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I don't know about attacking with that Swift Spear.
it is debatable, but at the same time...
Oh, draw 2!
All right, well...
These goblins sure are
Jerome has
guided.
no spells. All right.
Yeah. So this is one of the nice times where your Mog War Marshal isn't just the old raise the alarm.
Yeah, and I do actually have to say that I do agree with the block on the Goblin Guide in this situation. If your opponent is running out of cards in hand, the Swift Spear isn't as threatening.
Yeah, Swift Spear gets less threatening the longer the game goes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it still could outdamage the Goblin Guide, but it needs to be very circumstantial. So I do believe it's good immediately, and it's also good long-term potentially.
Yeah.
But there is a situation that could develop where it is threatening, so Jerome does have to be careful about it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, for example, 1 spell makes it just as bad as Goblin Guide, and 2 spells makes it worse.
Yeah,
so
for
it's
example,
like
right here, I would be targeting the Swift Spear. There you go.
Because it's kind of hard to kill that way. So
yeah, very good analysis on Jerome's side. Okay, let's see what Jordan draws and see how he can come back from this situation.
Well, staring at some burn spells.
They're definitely spells, and they don't look like lands. So after Jerome's dig through time,
dig through goblins, huh?
Yeah, dig through. Yeah, I'll find my top 4 lands.
Thanks for all the free draws. I'll never miss my land on the rest of the game.
Right. Okay,
Who needs Ren in 6? All right, I just swing.
Okay.
Oh, all right,
So
there's
we
a
have the
matron.
Yeah. So matron coming up.
And double block? I mean, it definitely... I would be slow to double block there, too, because it does seem kind of suspicious to be like, all right, here's my 2 toughness creature against your 2 power, and it called the bluff, and it just worked, I guess. Just worked.
Well, after that last play in Game 2 with the post-combat Skewer the Critics, I would be knowing that card is in that list at that consistency.
Yeah. Well, there's Lava Spike. The old
simple Lava Spike.
3 damage.
All right, so we're on the spell race now with 11 points.
Suspend Rift Bolt, classic.
There we are.
So, I mean,
So
Jerome could be dead next turn.
Right. So now we have to sit here and establish a board state as best as possible to get that Rift Bolt towards one of the goblins on the field.
Yeah. Get one of the goblins to heal for 3.
That would make me more.
Oh, well, that make you sweat?
Definitely more incentivized, yeah.
Double Snoop, certainly a sketchy state to be in.
Right. And now he has to make this decision before his potential land drop off the top of his deck. So.
I mean, it's kind of funny because I feel like Double Snoop almost now discourages Jordan from shooting a Snoop.
Straight to the face.
Yeah, because now if you kill one Snoop, like, what does that do?
Right.
So you're like, well, I might as well just bolt you in the dome.
So, next level question, should he have played one Snoop and one something else?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
To bait it on the one Snoop, and then
Right.
play the second Snoop, he got ya.
Yeah.
So it
Unless he's got
looks
3
like
Snoops
Jordan's
in
staring at Lightning Helix, Skewer the Critics, and some other cards. I think the
it's
lack
not
of
a
a
land
third
drop. We would've
land
seen
here
it.
is gonna, I think the lack of a land is gonna hurt here. So he's gonna pass.
So, did we see Jordan's side back in the Boros Charms after Game 2? Because I don't think we did. So
No.
his potential reach is still 3 spells then. So
Yes.
Jerome has 3 turns to be able to establish something at 8 life.
Yeah. Yeah, he either needs 2 mana burn spell here, and then 2 1-mana burn spells, or some combination to kill for next turn.
I do see a Helix though. I believe that's the Johnny art.
Yes.
So we already have a 6-point life swing.
Yeah, so the only other thing Jordan's really afraid of here is the combo, which having double Snoop does kind of ensure the combo is pretty safe. You need like double removal spell to interrupt it.
Goes for the show.
Nope. We're gonna see what's
Still
off the
fetching
top
down to
of the library
7.
first. Yeah.
But with the lack of Boros Charm, I guess 7 is no safer than 8.
Right, and we don't know if Jerome
Yeah.
would suspect
If he, like,
or
had the
not
read
that
there.
was Boros Charm. Yeah. Quick wish list. Does Goblins want Muxus, and does Burn want Fire Blast?
Bird definitely wants Fire
Yeah,
Blast. Muxus might not be doable in Modern. It's still 6 mana, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like how is like I mean,
we
sure
gotta
I'm
make
saying that when he has 5 lands in play right now, but like here we are, it's 6 mana. It's
Well,
6 mana.
it would change the shell to be Skirk Prospector
Yeah.
based, right? And
I
that
guess
is
so,
legal
yeah.
in Modern, yeah. So.
Right, yeah, because the reason we worked in Legacy is because they, until just recently, had the old Mind Goblin, right? They got to pay 3 mana or ritual into 6 mana.
Yeah, I'm really glad Unfinity's out of print so they can start banning cards, right? Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, like that was very irritating to play against in Legacy.
Oh, definitely.
I actually stopped playing Legacy because of that. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a pain in the
stickers
ass.
ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Not Uro, not Oko, not Dreadhorde Arcanist.
I knew
not
it was an
Ragavan.
issue. Yeah,
But stickers ruined it for me.
yeah. I knew there was a problem because I don't play Legacy, but I hear stuff about it.
Yes.
So I knew that there was a problem when I heard about ad nauseum Tendrils players bringing their sticker deck with them to juke the opponent.
Oh yeah,
Be like, all right, pick up 3 stickers. It's like, hey, sweet, we're good. Land, pedal, ritual. You're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. When the correct play is to falsify information, it's not a good format.
Yeah, it's not. It's all right.
All right.
All right, here comes the old mod or Goblin Ringleader.
Yeah.
Just straight draw 4. 4 mana draw 4. Seems good.
No, Jerome, you fool. Okay.
Yeah, for the top card.
No, we do have a Skirk.
Prospector, so
We do have Skirk.
no, gonna get in for some damage. So that's 1, 2, right? Because
We got 6. He's at 9.
Goblin Ringleader doesn't lord as well. It just
So
does
I
the
believe
draw,
Jordan
right?
has an absolute window here. Lightning Helix to the face, tap the top of the deck. Let's go.
Yeah, look for
Don't think
double
twice about
1 mana
this.
burn spell.
Yeah. We are not thinking twice about this.
close out the game.
We are.
Yeah, I think
we are
there's a
Helixing
lot.
the face.
Yeah, given the texture of his hand, I think there's a lot of outs, either in the
Well,
form
Drum's going
of...
to discard because of his treasure cruise.
Yeah,
There we go.
The Goblin Treasure
Healer to the
Cruise.
face, tap the top, let's go.
Yeah, so technically Jordan should have done this before Jerome's discard, but it's not really that consequential here, I don't think. Yeah, put Jerome down to 4.
Another one.
Huh! Is that Bolt? Oh, it's Play with Fire for 2. And then there's Skewer for 3.
Oh my god. Oh, there you go.
That's it. And turns out that 20 damage to the face still a viable strategy in Modern.
Well, yeah.
And you'll see us again, same time, same place next week. Huzzah.